Hey guys, welcome to a special video that I thought I'd just, talk about. Just like something it was on my mind and stuff, and I think it's a issue that, some people are, thinking about and stuff, and, that's, is comedy dying? Like, that's a question I ask myself, and a lot of people I know actually ask me that, and, like, they want to know, like, is comedy dying? And because we live in such a very, politically correct world and just a lot of SJWs and feminists out there, and any comedians that step over the line even the slightest bit, they're accused to be misogynistic, homophobic, or racist. Or racist is the big word people are using nowadays, and I'm just like, oh my god, what's wrong with people? And it's not everything you say or do makes you racist and stuff, but like it's just a thing now. I remember when I was a kid, like I didn't know what this shit was. Like I was with people of different cultures and everything. Like I didn't know this racist bullshit, but like racism is like such a weird thing nowadays. Like it's always brought up every time. People are always being called racist just for saying one thing. Like it's really affecting comedy, like really badly. It's really damaging comedy in general. Not just like comedy movies or comedy shows, just comedy in general. Like just stand-up comedy and everything. Like look what happened with Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones. I thought that was hilarious comedy, genius comedy. But he was attacked, Dave Chappelle was attacked by people and stuff, and it's got like a 35% Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm like, really? And just everyone thought it was offensive, and I'm like, that's what comedy is. Comedy's supposed to be offensive. And it's supposed to say something and shit, and just do little jabs at people, and it's not meant to be taken completely literal. But people just like, they flip the fuck out over just jokes, and that's what they are, just jokes. And they're like, oh, you're racist if you like that. And I'm like, I doubt Dave Chappelle's racist. Like Dave Chappelle is a really funny dude. And the funniest thing is, back in the day, comedy was just like that, and no one was ever accused of racism and misogyny. Like, look at Richard Pryor. Like, that guy was the king of comedy. And he was never accused of bullshit like that. Like, and he spoke his mind and talked about society and talked about white people, black people, and classism. And he was just amazing. And just no one was all uptight about Richard Pryor and stuff. And also, like, Eddie Murphy, when he did Eddie Murphy Raw. Like, if Eddie Murphy Raw came out right now, people would be rioting in the streets because that shit is really offensive. But it's freaking hilarious. And Eddie Murphy's coming out with a new stand-up, and I really hope it's just as hilarious and just as offensive and just as messed up and just as edgy as Raw. Raw was so funny and so hilarious and very detailed and really well written. We need shit like that. Even like Bill Burr. Bill Burr's new special. Everyone's calling him all these names. I'm like, he's not racist. His wife and child are black. He's not racist. He just hates feminists and just hates people accusing him of things and stuff. And he speaks his mind. But people don't want you to speak your mind. They want to censor you. They want you to say nice things about everybody. And attack people who they want you to attack. And that's why it's really, like, it's being, like, tamed comedy. This goes for everything. Like, even look at the stand-ups that people are saying are genius. They're awful. Like, look at Amy Schumer. Everything Amy Schumer... For one thing, she steals jokes. Watch the YouTube clip of Amy Schumer stealing all these jokes. But it's okay, because she's a feminist. She can steal jokes. It's okay. Even though she's completely unoriginal, it's okay. But look at her new special. Like, she, like, demanded, like, all this money because Dave Chappelle and Jerry Seinfeld were getting paid this much, so she wanted to get paid equally and stuff, and I'm like, okay, they're getting into the pay thing now. I'm like, they pay you on talent, not on equality. When you're in show business, they pay you on how talented you are. Amy Schumer is not on the same level as Dave Chappelle and Jerry Seinfeld. She hasn't paid her dues yet. She has not been in the industry. She just started in comedy, like, not that long ago. Dave Chappelle's been doing comedy for 25 years. Jerry Seinfeld's been doing it over 30 years. Like, these guys have paid their dues. They've been in the industry for that long, and that's why they get paid the big bucks. You want to get paid the big bucks, you gotta pay your dues and do more specials and stuff. But no, she demanded to be paid more than them because she's a woman. And then she came out with her special and it was trash. It was garbage. It was bad. She just made jokes about how gross her vagina is and just sex. That's her whole joke. It's sex in her vagina. That's funny shit. It's not funny. It's not funny. And I saw all these other girls and these feminists. They're not funny. Like, look at all these girls. I don't know some of their names, but these girls I put pictures of. They're not funny. I watched all their specials. They're not funny. And this is supposed to be new age comedy. And it's not funny. That's what comedy is. It's supposed to make you laugh. That shit ain't fucking funny. It's some of it's depressing. I'm like, well, it's not funny. How's this funny? Like, I was once raped. Hilarious. It's not. That's a horrible thing. That's a tragic thing. Being raped and molested. But you're putting that in a comedy special and you like, do you want people to laugh at that? Like, you're supposed to be telling jokes. I get you're supposed to be serious at times. But some of them just tell stories and they're not funny. And like, wait, you're supposed to be funny. You're a stand-up comedian. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Even like, look at Lily Singh, the YouTuber, who has her own late night talk show. She's supposed to be telling jokes and they're not funny. Like, I thought her talk show, I watched the first episode, it was trash. It was so bad. It was like, her whole joke was, I'm a woman of color. That's her whole joke. That was her whole joke. And she was just like, you think minorities are stealing jobs. Truth are, they are. Like, that's not a joke. That's not funny. Everything she says wasn't funny. She made this, like, rap video about how she's a woman, strong female character who hates white guys and stuff. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of racist, but whatever. I don't fucking care. Like, I ain't gonna bitch about it. I'm not a social justice worry, but I care about good comedy. I just want to laugh. That shit ain't fucking funny. And, of course, she has to interview Chelsea Handler, who's easily one of the most irritating people in the industry. And again, she's not funny either. And this is supposed to be good comedy. They're not funny. And then when they label something that isn't funny, like Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr, that shit's hilarious. But they're trying to cancel. It's called cancel culture now. They're trying to cancel out good comedy. And it's honestly, it's going to kill comedy for good. And they're doing that with movies too. Look at movies like Hustlers. That's supposed to be funny? Hustlers was not funny. I know I got hate from that review. That shit wasn't funny. Roofing dudes and taking their money is not funny. Honestly, those characters, most of them were idiots. Like, I couldn't relate to them. They're too despicable and shit. It was too mean-spirited, the movie. And it was meant to be dark comedy and play them as villains, then maybe it would have been funny. But, like Wolf of Wall Street, that movie's funny because it plays him off like he's a fucking piece of shit. But no, Hustlers plays these girls off like they're fucking heroes or something, and they're not. They're assholes. But it is not funny. Wolf of Wall Street is funny. Hustlers is not funny. And I'm like, they don't know what real comedy is, and it's getting on my nerves a little bit. And I always fear that comedy is going to die, and I don't think it is, but I think it's still in danger of dying and stuff. And if you don't give people a voice, you don't give people if you don't give people the freedom to say what they need to say and that choice to say what they need to say, then it's just like, what's the point then? We have no free speech anymore. We have no freedom of speech. We have no freedom of choice and stuff. Then everything's controlled by feminism and bullshit like that. And that's basically just like a dictatorship. Like, what the fuck kind of world are we living in? If you can't say what you need to say and say what you want to say and just joke about shit you always want to joke about, then the fuck is what's the fun in anything? Like, nothing's gonna be fun or entertaining anymore. I joke about a lot of shit. I joke about people at my work. We joke about really fucked up shit. None of us gets offended. I work with all different people of different genders, different races, and we fuck around and joke about a lot of cool, really inappropriate things. But we don't get offended because they're fucking jokes. And if you'll take jokes way too seriously and way too offensive, then yes, comedy will eventually die. And then the world will just be a sad, depressing place, and everything is going to be like the most shittiest thing ever. We're going to be living in like a Great Depression. A depression of comedy. And it's awful. And I really just, people need to lighten the fuck up and just realize it's just jokes. The world is not there's racism and prejudice and bad things in this world and homophobia, but not everyone is. Most people aren't. So stop accusing people of shit like this. Stop calling people racist. Stop calling people misogynistic and homophobic. Stop calling people names. When you have no argument and that's all you're saying, you're just a fucking imbecile. Yeah, when it comes to cancel culture, fuck all that shit. Stop censoring people. Let people say what they need to say. It's called freedom of speech. And let good comedians like Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, and even Eddie Murphy do what they need to gotta do. Do what they need to do. Give us some good comedy, because if they don't, and you censor them, comedy will eventually die. That's my opinion on comedy, and give your thoughts and opinions, and yeah, see you guys in the next video, and join the dark side.